Just because he visited his mother's grave for the first time in 20 years, the man suddenly and inexplicably traveled back to being 14 years old. The old man was named Vanya. He was already 50 years old. Looking at the record showing his mother died at 48, he was overwhelmed with emotion. While he was lost in grief, a white butterfly suddenly appeared. It fluttered and circled in front of Vanya's eyes. Vanya's gaze unconsciously followed it. Suddenly a strong wave of dizziness hit him. He began to lose consciousness. Then everything went black, and he completely passed out. No one knew how long had passed when Vanya slowly woke up. The sky had already cleared from overcast to sunny. The sunlight was a bit blinding. He felt his body was filled with endless strength. The exhaustion of living half a lifetime was completely gone. He had no time to think further. All he could think about was the train home. There happened to be an unlocked bicycle by the roadside. He got on it without hesitation. While riding toward the station, Vanya began to sense something was wrong. The roadside billboards looked decades old. The cars on the streets were models only seen in old films. The whole town had returned to a lively, familiar past. It was completely different from the decline he had seen before. His confusion grew deeper, until he passed by a shop. In the glass window, he saw his reflection. It was not the face of a 50-year-old man, but a thin, youthful teenage boy. He froze completely, and all of this began a few hours earlier. It was supposed to be his birthday that day. He was dozing on a train heading home. A conductor stood in front of him asking to see his ticket. Vanya did not think much of it. He calmly handed over the ticket, but what the conductor said next instantly woke him up.
Vous êtes trompé de train.
Ah non, c'est pas le train pour Paris.
Non.
Et au prochain arrêt, je pourrais revenir en arrière?
Ça vaudrait mieux.
The conductor told him he had boarded the wrong train. Vanya was completely confused. He had taken this route home for 20 years. He could not possibly have made a mistake. And today was his 50th birthday. His family was waiting with a cake to celebrate. But the conductor insisted it was a train heading toward the countryside. Vanya tried to argue, but the rules were final. He was told to get off at the next station. The train passed through a dark tunnel and slowly stopped. The doors opened and Vanya was forced to step out. He arrived at an unfamiliar small station. Surrounded by endless mountains, the station looked old and remote. The train left immediately without stopping, cutting off any chance for him to return. He looked at his watch. There were still 6 hours until the next return train. He took out his phone to call his wife, but no one answered. Just as confusion set in, a familiar place name sign stopped him in his tracks. This was his hometown, which he had left over 20 years ago. Since he could not return for now, Vanya decided to go somewhere. He wanted to visit his late mother. He walked through the streets of his hometown with his suitcase. Everything here had changed. The once lively town in his memory was now quiet and desolate. There was no one he recognized. He even began to doubt whether he had ever truly lived here. Following faint memories, he passed through narrow alleys. Finally, in a corner of the